qualified to drive now.
Hello, I'm Laura Winter and welcome to the NEOM Island Prix here in a hot, dusty and windy Sardinia. It's the first ever Extreme E double-header with round 2 racing on Wednesday and Thursday and round 3 on Saturday and Sunday. But now it's time for the Shakedown and it's your chance to join me, Andrew Coley and Jenny Gow and get up to speed on all things Extreme E.
Thanks, Laura. Very much looking forward to this. Doubleheader, as Laura said, first ever doubleheader for Extreme E. Feels like season 2.5. It's been so long since we last raced in Saudi Arabia. But of course, this weekend, as with all weekends, we are racing with a purpose.
At every Extreme E race location, the championship focuses on an environmental issue affecting many regions around the globe. We're kicking things off here in Sardinia, looking at the devastating effects of wildfires. In July 2021, there were 13,000 more wildfires recorded in Italy than ever before. That had incalculable damage to people's livelihoods and to the natural world among us. We'll be keeping that message firmly in mind racing here in Sardinia. But first, let's take a look back at an amazing round 1 in NEOM.
The first stop on Season 2's Electric Odyssey was Saudi Arabia, as Extreme E sparked back into action with a new team and palpable anticipation. The stunning otherworldly landscape saw the drivers take on sand dunes, ruts and rocks in the hunt for the first win of the season. While in NEOM, the championship took time to highlight the importance of water in the region. Drivers helped to kickstart the area's tree planting initiative and reintroduce some native species as part of the legacy programme. Back on course, the action was dramatic from the off, with a huge crash for Christine GZ in qualifying. The excitement continued as qualifying races were staged for the first time.
Alatia makes a pass up the inside. Oh, contact between Sainz and Alatia.
Day 2's knockout racing saw Excite Energy Racing narrowly miss out on progressing to their first final after a penalty.
That was as close as you can get.
While Timmy Hansen rolled in the Genesis Andretti United.
Oh, Hansen!
That's a massive roll for Hansen.
New entrants McLaren marked their debut with a stunning Crazy Race win.
What a drive from McLaren.
The final saw Chip Ganassi, X44, RXR, Acciona Sainz and McLaren line up to do battle for the Desert Prix crown. Carlos Sainz led Sebastian Loeb after the first corner as the dust caused major visibility issues for the teams behind.
Massive crash, it's McLaren!
Well, that brought out the red flag, and at the restart, Johan Kristoffersen set about quickly dispatching Cristina Gutierrez before hunting down Laia Sanz to take the win.
So with a new teammate Michaela Arling-Kotlinski, but the same car, same results, Johan Kristoffersen, the reigning champion, crosses the line to take the win in round 1. Yes!
Following a pause in the race calendar, teams and drivers have been busy testing their Odyssey 21s across the planet ahead of the double-header in Sardinia. With 2 rounds taking place in a matter of days, it's all to play for at the Island Prix.
Hello and welcome to the Extreme E paddock for the first time here at the doubleheader in Sardinia. Now, 10 teams, 20 drivers, 1 male and 1 female driver per team. And a brand new team for this season in NEOM McLaren. And of course, Emma Gilmore, the Kiwi, the very first female driver for McLaren, lining up alongside Tanner Faust. Tanner rolled the car in Saudi, so they'll be looking to get a bit more experience here, but they did make their first final last time out. Moving on to a brand new driver pairing for Excite Energy Racing. Tamara Molinaro, who was very, very fast indeed in Saudi, so looking forward to seeing what she can do, alongside rallycross legend Timo Scheider. That will be exciting, and they've got nothing to lose. Next up, we have Hummer EV Chip Ganassi Racing, Sarah Price and Carl Leduc. They were incredibly quick last time out here, but then calamity with the car. They're going to have to take it that little bit steadier on very hard, very tough terrain in hot and windy Sardinia. Next up, we have Veloce. Of course, Christine GZ is back after that ankle injury when she had an almighty shunt in Saudi Arabia in round 1, but she's back, fit, ready, raring to go. Lance Woolridge. There are question marks at the moment. We think he's okay. He's not been that well this week. But Fraser McConnell, championship driver, is on standby just in case. But I think we'll see him in the car. We should do. Next up, we have Acciona Sainz. Extreme E team, Laia Sanz and Carlos Sainz Sr. Of course, they were on the podium last time out. Carlos Sainz Sr. will be a happy boy as well, won't he? Of course, son, Carlos Sainz Jr., winning his first Formula 1 race, hopefully bringing some of those winning vibes to the paddock for Acciona Sainz. We've got grid play as well. This is how the grid is selected for the final. That's all here laid out. That'll come into play a little bit later on this weekend and this week for the double header. And we've got our green energy sources as well in NEOM hydrogen power, 100% clean energy. Next up in the paddock, we have at Cupra, Jutta Kleinschmidt and Nasser Al Attiyah. Now, they were good last time. They're showing pace, both absolute veterans of the Dakar Rally. Nasser Al Attiyah, 4-time winner. They just need that bit more experience in Extreme E together. But I think once that pace is unleashed, they will be ones to watch. That is for sure. Coming up next, Genesis Andretti United, Katie Munnings, Timmy Hansen. Timmy rolling the car in Saudi Arabia, a number of issues for several different teams, Timmy being one of them. But they're quick. They won a race, of course, last season, so we're going to have to see how they get on here. They will be ambitious and hungry for it, that's for sure, after seeing so much pace last time out. JBXE, again, another new driver pairing as well. We've got Kevin Hansen and away from a friendly mechanic, and Hedda Hostess, of course, those two will be driving here. Kevin back from that back injury we saw him suffer in round 1, but he has said he's 99% there, 99% fit. Few aches and pains every now and then, but fit and ready to go. X44, second last year overall. And we've got Cristina Gutierrez and absolute rally legend, 9-time champion Sebastian Loeb. These two are a pairing to reckon with, of course. Top qualifiers, never beaten in qualifying. They've got to make it count on race day, though, haven't they? Because, as always, they are up against defending champions of 2021, defending champions of the Sardinia Prix last year, defending champions, of course, from Saudi last time out, and Johan Kristoffersson just getting his race suit back on. It's very hot here. I was just saying how much you've won. What are your expectations here for this weekend? Top step of the podium?
Yeah, I mean, we of course would like to fight for the podium, but we know the competition is really high, so we'll try to do our best and focus on ourselves first of all. But I mean, definitely free practice felt good. I mean, it's obviously the second time we are here, so it's a little bit easy to learn the track, even though the last bit is a little bit different. But yeah, we'll try to do our best and see where it takes us.
We were last racing Extreme E a few months ago now. It's been quite the break. How have you stayed dialed in and motivated?
Yeah, we have done one test and one promotion day with Nico actually in the car, so have some updates with the damper. So track feels a lot smoother now, and it actually is a little bit smoother now also because the organization have done a great job smoothing out the worst parts of the track. So I think also overtakings and racing wheel to wheel be a lot easier now this year compared to last year. So hopefully we'll see some overtaking, and yeah, I've kept up to speed with doing some other events in between in other cars. So yeah, I'm ready to go.
We shall see. It's going to be exciting. Thanks so much. Best of luck to you, Johan. Well, let's take a look at some of the best of FP2, shall we? Here are your commentators, Jenny Gow and Andrew Coley.
Well, here we go. It was McLaren who led us out for FP2. Some serious work for these guys, of course. There was that huge accident for this man, Tanner Faust, last time out in Saudi. In the back of the pack in the dust, he got caught out, Jenny, and had a huge crash.
He did, and it was impossible to almost see him, and it's pretty much impossible to see through those big puddles as well. The water feature, one of the outstanding parts of this course. We love the fact that they've got that back this year. Of course, we're returning here for the second time, and that gives everybody a little bit of an inkling as to what to expect, or at least those drivers who were here last year. year.
Yeah, I'm trying to think whether or not Emma Gilmore was here or not last year. I think she might have been. RXR, this is, of course, the reigning champions and the winners of round one, Johan Kristoffersen and his new teammate, Michaela Arlen-Kotlinski. This was Michaela Arlen-Kotlinski, just ripping off a bit of the bodywork on the back of the car with a, you know, slightly, okay, mega sideways moment there.
Who needs that bit anyway?
Yeah.
It's just added weight.
It's
That's
fine.
absolutely fine.
It's fine.
Kristoffersen getting in, taking over, and looking pretty good. He said actually that he was enjoying this going out there today.
I think looking at the car there as well, so if you've not been following on social media, and you should have been, there's been a number of upgrades, and the biggest one is actually to the dampers on the car, so the suspension, and tested very well there by the Apt Cupra squad, running up over a rock. They also had a spin, but yeah, big Fox dampers on the cars, Jenny, means I think we're going to see the drivers attacking a little bit harder. The car looks better over the bumps to me.
Yeah, attacking harder, hopefully a little bit better overtaking, which means better racing. There's so many things to be excited about with this, as you say. Season 2.5 getting underway, but I've spoken to Apt Cupra, and they say that they had front drive shafts break on them. They're not quite sure exactly when it happened, but you can see NASA there trying to get the car restarted.
Yeah, he went round twice actually, and we know he's a Dakar legend. This man knows how to drive, and both spins were unusual. Here you'll see another one. That's not NASA Alatia. Without the front drive shafts, it's rear-wheel drive, all the power just to the back of the car, and that makes it tricky when the car wasn't designed to be driven that way.
You've got to find some extra muscle strength. Not as bad as when your power steering goes, but still not ideal.
New livery for X44. First saw this car today, I was like, who's that? Well, it's X44, and we're certainly not going to miss this one, Jenny. We're not going to miss moments like that. That was a spin. They had a number of issues, actually, with Sebastian Loeb saying the car settings were dangerous, but, you know, they have some problems, don't they, which they need to fix.
Yeah, they missed testing, unfortunately, for them. So this is the first time they're feeling this new suspension. They've got those dampers fitted, so it's going to be hard work for them.
A problem with the rear motor as well, which is what I think Loeb was referring to. I mean, you can dial in the dampers, can't you? But a big problem like that, spinning the car around out of control, is makes things very difficult indeed.
Tell you what, looks great though. Exactly the same cap that Lewis Hamilton had at the weekend at Silverstone. So they've obviously gone with matching colour scheme.
Yeah, he was chucking him out into the crowd, wasn't he? Let's hope these guys aren't chucking any parts off the car. Loeb has been so committed, and Gutierrez, they've not been beaten in qualifying. What can they do tomorrow?
Last time we were here, this team had all sorts of problems. They were out in the lead by 45 seconds, but it wasn't to be for them. They had a problem, so they're looking for a redemption run here for the number 99 GMC Hummer EV Chip Ganassi racing team.
That's quite the mouthful there, Jenny. Well done. That is indeed the official name of the team. I think there'll be a shorter version when we're in the midst of the action. Had a chat with Carl Leduc this morning, actually, and he was saying how he's worked on himself mentally a little bit to take a different approach to the weekend. Him and Sarah have separated themselves from the team's decisions. They'll wait for the decisions and then work on their own performances. So they've clearly done some work. Could they finally take that win?
Tell you what though, looks like they're bringing the same harsh philosophy to it, but let's go down to the paddock, because I feel there's something special on its way.
So we are here with X44, and we are going to listen into what Sebastian has to say about his second free practice. So it's the second time we are here in Sardinia. How was the feeling on your second free practice?
Not perfect. We have to work a bit on the setup. We couldn't test the car since we changed the suspension, and I'm not really happy with my brake balance, my suspension, so I'm fighting a bit too much in the car. Need to improve some details. For the rest, the track is nice. Tomorrow will be better.
So what was the issue that Christina had on her first run?
She spun.
Okay, so no issues there, so I'm pretty sure X44 will come back even stronger tomorrow.
Okay, we try.
Well, someone's clearly after my job, aren't they? Let's take a look at how Johan Kristoffersen and his boss got on in testing. Meanwhile, I'm going to see if I can get a drive and a job share. RXR were in Germany at the famous Nürburgring for their testing, and they were joined by a familiar face. Nico Rosberg, team owner of RXR and 2016 F1 World Champion, was on site to get up close and personal with the RXR machine.
So just quick explanation of the car then. First of all, I mean the suspension, crazy, what a beast. I mean if I compare it to my F1 suspension, you know, which was like This is unbelievable. And that in combination with the tires, huh? I mean, the tires are just phenomenal. The cross-contact tire, of course, from Continent, specifically developed like for Extreme. And the special thing here is just one tire for everything. So from the desert in 40 degrees to the snow rain in Greenland where it's like 0 degrees, this tire will do everything and have maximum grip also in all those different circumstances and conditions. So you can see here they've had to reinforce the whole rim because there's been so much load from this tire just to keep the tire on, you know, it has so much grip. And really cool also that they really try and use sustainable ingredients. So here they've done 60 recycled PET bottles for each of the tires, and also they use rice husks for some of the ingredients, you know, so for some of the materials. So that's really good progress.
While Nico was at the track, he couldn't help but get behind the wheel himself.
First time in an XC car, but it's my first time actually even in a rally car as such. So really excited, looking forward to it. And I'm just finding out that like my seating position is awesome because it's like a compromised seating position, you know, for Michaela and Johan. So for me, it's the perfect fit. So this is a great start. Okay, good. Ready to go.
Ready?
Yeah. Okay, let's do it.
Show me what the car can do.
Oh yeah.
I think it will be a challenge, but I think he will enjoy, and he will enjoy to be back in a race car, and I think he will be all right.
Maybe the first lap is not going to be the quickest lap. I think he will try to sense the car a bit.
He's active in case
Looks
something
like he's
happens.
pushing now though, so that's good.
Crazy. It's a tech. Oh, unbelievable. What a beast. Oh my goodness. James. Actually made the corner.
It's very fun to see Nico driving. It looked like he really enjoyed it, so that's great. It is very different to circuit racing. I mean, I did mainly circuit racing before, and then coming into Extreme E was a different world. So I can just imagine how it is coming from Formula 1 to Extreme E.
How crazy cool. How cool is that?
It is, right?
That's insane. That's really cool. I'm really impressed. What a tank. I've never driven something like that before. You just do not care. You know, it's like whatever comes, let's go. It's insane.
Yeah. I really enjoyed to see him drive, and also I think it's a bit easier for him to understand what we are talking about when he experienced the car himself.
Wow, it was like insane. I was bombing it. And I've never driven an off-road tank like that before. Literally, whatever comes, it's just keep it flat, it will take anything. Was madness out there. It was proper cool.
Obviously he's a driver, so he knows, you know, looking for details and looking for the feeling of the drivers to be comfortable in the car, to be able to push. But it's always easier for him to understand as well when he's tried the car.
And I think you can see that it was flat out by the look of the car. I mean, I pushed like hell. and I must say also, I mean, the Continental tires work beautifully. I mean, the grip is impressive, so that was really cool to see as well.
I do believe that he likes to get back into the car and, you know, drive a race car again, and yeah, I hope he enjoyed.
Having won the inaugural championship of Extreme E last year, as well as the first race in this year's season in Saudi Arabia, the RXR drivers are embracing being the team to beat for the next race in Sardinia.
Of course, the goal is very, very clear. We want to win the championship again this year. And for me, I mean, taking the first win in Saudi was my first win ever in Extreme E, so it felt great. So I would say I learned a lot from the team, speaking to Nico, speaking to Johan, how to think and how to really mentally be, in what state to mentally be in order to win a championship.
No, but I think, you know, it's always nice to have a little bit of a target over your back, because, I mean, we are the reigning champion and we won the first race, so everyone would like to beat us. You just have to focus on yourself and do the best job we can.
Before leaving the Nürburgring, Nico jumped into the passenger seat for a lap with Johan Kristoffersson to feel the pace of this championship-winning driver.
Right then, you
lovely lot. I'm sure you want to know how to watch Extreme E this week. Both rounds, of course, of the doubleheader here in Sardinia. Well, we broadcast worldwide, so wherever you are in the world, you can watch. Head to the extreme.com website for all the details. And don't forget, keep up to date with all things on social media here from Sardinia too, at Extreme E Live on Instagram and Twitter. For now, I'm going to sit back, relax, and enjoy some action on track.
Well, there's more good action coming your way. Another 5 cars, and we'll start this group with JBXE taking to the track, and you can see all getting a little bit out of hand, but certainly having fun out there in a bit of another new lineup, Andrew.
Okay. Yeah, Hedda Hozas joining Kevin Hansen in the car. Molly Taylor not taking part this weekend. Hello to Molly, our reigning champion, of course, alongside Christopherson last year. They had this spin that you can see on board with Kevin. We did catch it from the distance, so not all issue free, but you know, a lot of these teams just getting their heads around the new gear which has been put on the car, the new dampers, the new parts, settings, so this is just a good time to feel their way in. Doesn't matter if you're making mistakes in free practice.
No, absolutely. Learn the track, learn what you're doing in that car and get up to speed with it. Of course, Kevin Hansen saying he's about 99% fit. I wonder how fit Carlos Sainz Sr. is feeling. Did he have a little brew after Sunday when his son won his first ever F1 race?
You've got to, haven't you? You've got to. I was kind of, was Carlos there? Was he at the Grand Prix or
no,
not?
he wasn't, but just after Carlos told me just afterwards, we just missed the waypoint there, and he did have a quick 10-second conversation with his dad just to say, I did it!
Brilliant.
Lovely.
Well, yeah, he wasn't at the Grand Prix, and apparently he wasn't on course here at Extreme E either because he missed that gate. And you'll see in just a few moments that Laia Sanz's teammate actually had a similar issue. So the course is very similar to last year. If you watch, here we go, you see off to the right-hand side. To be fair, she's probably following Carlos's tyre tracks, because if he went the wrong way, she actually cuts back to the left and she does make it inside the gate. Sorry, we're seeing Carlos now. Was it Laia first in the car?
It must have been, yeah.
Well, yeah, my bad. Either way, they both had the same issue at the same point, but a lot of the course is the same as it was last year. Look at the way the dampers are soaking up these bumps now. Expect to see people attacking that bit harder tomorrow.
Next up, it was the Andretti United team going out there, racing in their orange and looking pretty good. They've had quite a relaxed day of it, I think. No major problems after that roll in Saudi, of course. They had to do a lot of work to the car, but both Katie Munnings, Timmy Hansen, looking like they're in a good place, I think, for this round.
Yeah, a number of the teams went testing, didn't they, in between the two rounds. So you say they did have a bit of work to do, not as much work as McLaren had. Timmy's roll was a bit slower, wasn't it? Although there was a lot of dirt inside the cockpit, so yeah, a little incident for him.
They did have a little glitch, actually, with software.
Yes.
That may well have affected them today, and they were limited to a certain amount of kilometres, so actually not the perfect running they would have wanted.
Yeah, it was limited to 11 kilometres an hour as well, which is never ideal. Brand new lineup for Excite Energy Racing. They've got both the championship drivers are in this weekend, taking the seats of Ollie Bennett has handed the car over. He's focusing on another project at the moment, so yeah, interesting to see how Scheider gets on, finally behind the wheel in a race, Jenny.
Yeah, I'm delighted for him, actually, to get a go, because he's been the male championship driver. All the females have kind of whizzed past him and got an actual seat. He's still there, last man standing. But Tamara Molinaro and Timo Scheider, I think, will make a really good pairing. They didn't quite get it right today coming into the switch zone, 62 kilometres an hour instead of 40.
Well, you'd think Timo was familiar with the car, wouldn't you? But he also had an issue, apparently, when he pressed the hyperdrive button instead of the speed limiter button. That's definitely the wrong way round. Molinaro in free practice 1 actually ran wide and had a little issue with the steering as well, broke a bit of the steering. So getting out of the way now and a big push tomorrow.
Yeah, last up, it's Veloce Racing with Christine GZ, recovered now after that big smash last time out with Lance Woolridge, but I think Lance not feeling 100% today, so you can just see the sweat perspiration on his face there.
Yeah, he missed FP1 in the morning but was feeling better by the afternoon. Of course, if he doesn't take part, then Fraser McConnell will sit in for him. Clara Anderson is the female championship driver this weekend, if you're wondering.
Yep, so that was our first bit of running. Remember, we've got plenty more coming for you tomorrow. Let's go back down to the paddock and Laura Winter.
Well, there we go. That is free practice 2 done and dusted here in Sardinia. And I'm joined by Carla Duke and Sarah Price. Carl, coming to you first. How was it out there?
Good. We tried, some different setups and trying out the new suspension, trying to figure it all out. But all in all, it was a little sketchy, super dry race course. It went good. It went smooth. We pushed, figured out our lines. It was just a good day on the racetrack for both of us.
And I'm sure you both have bad memories of being here last year. Sarah coming to you a 45-second lead in that final, and then it all just going wrong. How do you reflect on it now? How will you put it right here?
I have to say, you know, Extreme E has been amazing. They are upgrading the vehicles, and last year we had a failure with the old tie rods. Now we are on a stronger vehicle, a safer vehicle, and we're ready. We're ready to redeem ourselves, you know. This is our style track, I think, and we both feel pretty confident, and we feel like we're just ready to, you know, finally get a podium underneath our belt.
I love it. Fighting talk already. Thank you both so much. Let's get the final words from Andrew Coley and Jenny Gow.
Well, final word going to the Chip Ganassi squad. They were fastest in both free practice sessions today, so they really have laid down. Can they get revenge for that terrible misjustice last year?
Yeah, you feel if anyone deserves it, but let's see what happens. So make sure you join us. We have qualifying, then it will be the semi-finals, and then the final. Who will walk away with the prize? We shall wait and see what happens, but make sure you join us for all of the running as we go through the weekend.
Prepare to be aggressive. Hyperdrive now.